My fiancé laughed when I cried after losing my dog. Said, it was just an animal, not a child. So I let her meet the woman who rescued me after my overdose years ago and told her who paid for her ring. I'm Nate, 33, male. I'm shaking as I write this, like full-on can't hold my coffee shaking. Not because I'm sad anymore, but because I'm angry. And maybe a little disgusted with myself for how long I let her make me feel small. My dog, Murphy, died 3 weeks ago, golden retriever. He'd been with me for 12 years. Through a heroin relapse, rehab, and that one horrible year when I thought I wasn't going to make it, Murphy was there for all of it. Slept by the door the night I overdosed. Licked my hand until the paramedics came. He was the reason I woke up in a hospital instead of a morgue. I used to joke that I didn't need a sponsor because I had a dog with better instincts than most humans. But it wasn't a joke, not really. He was my lifeline. So yeah, when the vet told me he had a tumor wrapped around his heart and there was nothing they could do, I broke. I held him while they put him down. Sobbed like a child into his fur until it stopped rising. I couldn't drive home, I just sat in the parking lot with his collar in my hand and my shirt soaked through. When I finally got back to the apartment, I expected her, Erica, 30, female, my fiancé of 11 months, to maybe say something kind, or at least try to comfort me. But instead, she was sitting on the couch with a glass of wine, scrolling through TikToks with the volume way too loud. I walked in, red-eyed, still shaking, said, "He's gone." She looked up and she laughed. Swear to God. Gave this little snort and said, "You look like you just lost a kid or something." Nate, it was just an animal. Just an animal. That broke something in me. Like a crack that had been running under the surface for months just finally split wide open. I didn't yell. I didn't throw anything. I just stood there, staring at her like she was a stranger. "You know what he meant to me," I said. She shrugged. "I know you say that, but it's not like he was a person. Jesus, you're acting like someone died." Someone did die. The one soul who never judged me, never gave up on me. The one living creature who'd seen me overdose on a bathroom floor and still loved me after. I went to bed alone that night. Murphy's bed was still in the corner, empty. I kept hearing his collar jingle in my head. Couldn't sleep, couldn't cry anymore. Just laid there staring at the ceiling, thinking about how Erica had looked at me like I was pathetic. The next morning, I pulled out a box from the back of the closet. Old letters, hospital bills, a picture of me in detox, hugging a woman named Jess, my old sponsor and the first person who sat with me after I woke up in the ER, and a receipt for a diamond ring from her, Jess, because Erica never knew who really bought her ring. I met Jess, 38, female, when I was 24 and on the tail end of my third overdose in 2 years. She was the intake counselor at the rehab facility I got dumped into like human trash after the hospital stabilized me. She wasn't supposed to be my sponsor, that wasn't even her job, but she stayed, sat with me while I detoxed. When I was too ashamed to look anyone in the eye, too angry to cry, she brought me socks once. Just plain gray ones because I didn't have any, and it was snowing that week. She gave me a journal and told me to write every time I wanted to use. She's the reason I ever picked up a pen instead of a needle. She also ran a small nonprofit back then that quietly helped fund recovering addicts who wanted to start over. Not some performative GoFundMe, just direct aid. Groceries, bus passes, an interview suit. The kind of stuff no one tells you you'll need after you survive. When I got clean and stayed clean, she was the one who helped me set up a checking account, taught me how to apply for jobs again without lying. 3 years clean, I had a decent IT gig. 5 years in, I had savings. When I started dating Erica, I was in the best place I'd ever been. She was gorgeous, polished, the kind of woman who could turn a simple wine night into a whole Instagram photo shoot. I felt like I'd finally made it, like I was no longer the former junkie with the stray dog and the quiet life. But Murphy always knew better. He never liked Erica, wouldn't sit near her. Sometimes he'd whine when she walked in the door. I ignored it. Told myself dogs don't know people like that. But maybe they do. Maybe he could smell the condescension under her fake smiles. Because now, looking back, I see all the cracks. The time she joked about how rough my upbringing must have been in front of her friends. The way she once asked if I could maybe not mention the overdose around her parents because it would make the holidays awkward. How she flinched when I said I still went to meetings once a month. Like recovery was a disease she didn't want to catch. She didn't want me, not really. She wanted the version of me she could show off. The redemption arc with a stable job, the cute rescue dog, the engagement ring on her finger like a trophy. But that ring, she never knew where it came from. Jess gave it to me the day I hit 10 years clean. Said she'd been saving it, said it used to be her mother's. "You'll know when it's the right person," she said. I thought it was Erica, but now I'm staring at that ring on her finger, remembering how she laughed when Murphy died, and all I can see is the woman who gave it to me, and the one who doesn't deserve to wear it. She laughed at my grief. So I decided it was time she met the woman who didn't. I waited until the Sunday after Murphy's cremation. Erica had made plans for brunch with her friends, some rooftop place downtown with $19 mimosas and girl boss energy, as she called it. She kissed me on the forehead before leaving, like I was a child staying home sick from school, not even noticing I hadn't said a word to her in 2 days. As soon as the door clicked shut, I called Jess. She picked up on the second ring. Nate? I hadn't spoken to her in over a year, not because of anything bad, but because Erica had slowly, surgically carved out every piece of my past life that didn't fit her image. I stopped going to meetings, stopped texting Jess back, stopped talking about the hard years. I thought I was healing. Turns out I was just shrinking. I told Jess about Murphy. My voice cracked halfway through and I had to stop, but she didn't rush me. Just waited, like always. When I finally got the words out, what Erica had said, how she laughed, there was this long silence. And then she said, "Come over." Her apartment was still the same. Smelled like coffee grounds and lavender oil, with stacks of paperback books everywhere and a couch so worn it could have been part of my rehab center. She hugged me like no time had passed. I broke down for the second time that week. After I caught my breath, she made us tea. Sat across from me on the floor like we were back in group therapy. No judgment, just space to feel everything. "I kept the receipt," I said, pulling the envelope from my jacket. "The ring. I never told her. I didn't think it mattered." Jess looked down at it, then back at me. "It always matters who helps you become the man you are." That night, I stayed with her. On the couch, fully clothed, nothing happened. She even put Murphy's collar beside a candle on her bookshelf. Said he deserved a proper spot. I stared at it for hours before falling asleep, knowing something had shifted in me. The next morning, I came home and Erica was already back from brunch. Her heels were in the hallway and I could smell perfume and syrup. She turned when I walked in. "Hey, babe," she said, like nothing had happened. "I was thinking we should scatter Murphy's ashes somewhere cute, like a lake or something Instagram-worthy. Would be kind of poetic, right?" I set my keys down slowly, walked into the room, and looked her dead in the eye. "I want you to meet someone." She blinked. "What?" "I want you to meet the woman who pulled me off a bathroom floor when I was blue-lipped and dying. The woman who gave me my first real shot at life. The one who gave me that ring." Erica's smile didn't fade. It shattered, because she finally realized that the shiny story she'd built on top of my pain wasn't hers to own, and I was done pretending she belonged in it. She said nothing for a full 10 seconds, just stared at me like I'd slapped her. "You mean that woman?" Her voice cracked around the edges. "That Jess person? You've been talking to her again?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. Erica's whole body stiffened. "Are you seriously trying to guilt me over your dog and some random junkie from your past?" That word, junkie, cut through me like a switchblade. "You mean the woman who kept me alive long enough for you to even meet me?" I said, slow and controlled. "Yeah, that junkie." She turned on her heel and stormed into the kitchen. I followed, heart pounding. Something about the way she gripped the edge of the counter told me she was teetering, on the edge of one of her spirals. I'd seen it before, when her sister got engaged before her, when I missed her company's holiday branding gala. Because Murphy had a seizure, she'd implode. Ugly cry, throw something, make it everyone else's fault. She always made it mine. "This is emotional blackmail," she said. Her voice was suddenly shaking, eyes filling with crocodile tears. "You're just using this grief thing to punish me, like I'm some villain because I didn't bawl over a mutt." I walked over to the counter, pulled out the small felt box with the ring in it, set it down between us. Her eyes darted to it, then back to my face. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means I want it back." She stepped back like I'd just pulled a gun. "Are you breaking up with me over a dog?" "I'm breaking up with you because when I was at my lowest, you laughed." She stared at me, mouth open, chest heaving. And then, just like that, she snapped. "I gave up everything for you," she screamed, voice going high and sharp like shattered glass. "I could have married Tyler, or Jeff, or literally anyone normal, but I chose the guy with a fucking past. I tolerated your weird meetings and your sad little dog and your weird silences because I thought I was helping you. I upgraded you." She kicked the trash can so hard it hit the wall and bounced. Dishes clattered in the sink. Her hands were shaking now, mascara running. "I made you look good," she shouted, pointing at her own chest. "You think any of those people at my firm would have given you a second look if you weren't with me? You were just some IT freak with a dead dog and a sob story. I made you fucking presentable." I didn't move, just picked up the ring box, slipped it in my coat. "I was never trying to be presentable," I said. "I was just trying to stay alive." And then I left. She followed me out to the hall, barefoot, screaming, literally screaming, about how she was going to call my mother, tell everyone what a manipulative asshole I was, how I was probably back on something, and using grief as an excuse to cheat. Neighbors opened doors. I didn't care. I walked away as she collapsed to the floor of the hallway in tears, wailing like I'd killed her dog. But the best part? I wasn't going back alone. I was going to introduce her to Jess, and I was going to do it at her favorite brunch spot. in public, where everyone would hear exactly how much of her fairy tale life was bought with someone else's trauma. Update 1. Wow. Y'all, I did not expect this to blow up like it did. I figured maybe a few people would read it. Maybe some quiet, sorry about Murphy comments, and that'd be it. Instead, I woke up to hundreds of messages, support, outrage, advice, a few DMs calling me a drama king. Hi, Aunt Lisa, I know that was you. But mostly, people just got it. Some of y'all made me cry in a good way, like the person who said, Murphy wasn't a dog, he was your witness. Damn, I hadn't even thought of it like that, but yes, that boy saw it all. The highs, the overdoses, the nights I wanted to disappear. He stayed. Erica didn't even make it through one loss. And to the person who said she laughed because she couldn't control it, and controlling you was her whole personality, you just unlocked something dark for me. Because yeah, she couldn't control death. She couldn't shape it, market it, turn it into a story that made her look good on Instagram. So she belittled it instead. Now for what you're probably wondering, did she meet Jess? Yes. Oh yes, she did. I waited until the following Sunday, Erica's favorite brunch spot. The same one where she used to take selfies mid-mimosa and tag me like I was some loyal accessory. Jess and I showed up just before noon. I didn't warn Erica, didn't text, just walked up to the table where she and two of her coworkers were clinking glasses like nothing in her world had cracked. She saw us and froze. You could see her trying to calculate, was this a confrontation? A reunion? An ambush? Her coworker, bless her heart, looked from me to Jess and asked, "Oh, is this your mom?" Jess smiled. "Close. I'm the one who gave him the ring you're all toasting." Dead silence. Erica's face went pale, then red. Then something I can only describe as glitching. I said, loud enough for the table next to us to hear, "I thought it was time you met the woman who actually saved my life. The one who helped me walk again when I couldn't even crawl. The one who knew Murphy." Jess reached across the table and gently tapped Erica's champagne flute. "Cheers to the truth." Erica stood up so fast she nearly knocked her chair over. "This is harassment," she hissed. "You brought your addiction counselor to a brunch like she's your new girlfriend? What kind of sick performance is this?" Jess didn't even blink. "Sweetheart, this isn't a performance, it's a reckoning." We left after that. Didn't need more words. Didn't need a crowd. Just needed that moment. And yeah, it felt not good, exactly, but real. Like I'd finally taken back something she'd stolen from me. The fallout? Oh, we're not even close to done. She's spiraling hard now. Calling my job. Messaging my sister. Telling people I'm unhinged and possibly using again. And what she doesn't know? I've got the group chat screenshots. But that's for next time. Stay tuned. It gets messy. 2 days after brunch, I came home to find my apartment door unlocked. At first I froze. Thought maybe I'd forgotten. But no, I always double-check it. Old habit from recovery housing where you never left things open, not even for a second. My stomach dropped. I stepped inside and immediately saw the chaos. Closet doors open, drawers half pulled. The box where I'd kept Murphy's collar, gone. My coffee table book scattered. One of my rehab journals, ripped in half, like someone had started reading it, then decided to destroy it out of spite. And the ring box? Empty. That's when I saw the note. A single sheet of printer paper, taped to my fridge with a strawberry-scented sticker, like it was some middle school breakup letter. "If you're going to humiliate me in public, then I'm going to remind you what real betrayal looks like. You think you're some kind of saint now? Go cry to your little sponsor, mommy. I'm done playing nice. You don't get to control the narrative anymore." I stared at that note for a long time. Long enough for the adrenaline to cool and the heartbreak to kick in. She didn't just break into my place. She stole Murphy's collar. She took the last piece of him I had left, something sacred, and turned it into a weapon. I called Jess immediately. Told her what happened. She was at my place within 30 minutes, calm but furious in that quiet way I've only ever seen from people who've been through hell and know how to walk back into the fire. We took pictures, documented everything. Then Jess called a lawyer she knew from her nonprofit days. A guy named Lionel, mid-50s, no nonsense, and apparently owed Jess a favor the size of Texas. He didn't ask a lot of questions, just looked over the photos and said, "We can file a protection order. You got receipts?" Yeah, I had screenshots. Texts from Erica where she joked about taking back what was hers. Audio from her little brunch meltdown. Thank you. Voice memo app. And video footage from the lobby cam showing her tailgating a tenant to get in. We filed the report the next morning. That night, Erica blew up my phone. 28 missed calls. 3 voicemails of her sobbing. One where she was screaming, about how I ruined her career because now her boss had seen the brunch TikTok someone posted. Yup, it went viral. Not millions, but enough. Someone had filmed the exact moment Jess tapped that champagne flute. You can see Erica's face twist like a bad Botox injection. The caption? When the sponsor shows up and tells the fiancé who paid for the ring. 60,000 views, hundreds of comments, And Erica's social media presence? Imploding. She went private, deleted Twitter, but the damage was done. And you know what the universe handed me next? A message request from a name I hadn't seen in years. Tyler, her ex. Hey man, it said. I saw what she did. You're not the first. Oh, it gets so much worse. I didn't respond to Tyler at first. Just stared at the message like it was radioactive. Erica never talked about him much. Just called him her college mistake. Once. Said he was clingy, emotionally needy. Made herself sound like the survivor of some bad rom-com. But now? Now he was DMing me, offering, what? Solidarity? Warnings? I finally messaged back. What do you mean, not the first? The typing bubble popped up immediately. I mean, she did the exact same shit to me, man. Trauma-mined my past, love-bombed me, then tried to rewrite the whole relationship when I didn't play the role she cast me in. Then he sent a screenshot. A paragraph-long message she'd sent him 2 years ago, right after she and I started dating. It's weird being with someone who actually appreciates my ambition now. You were always stuck in your past. I need someone who sees my worth, not someone still grieving a rescue cat like it was a child. I stared at that line. Not someone still grieving a rescue cat like it was a child. She'd said the same thing to me, almost word for word. About Murphy. That wasn't a slip-up. That was a script. Jess read over my shoulder and whispered, she's not mourning a breakup. She's trying to destroy the proof you ever existed outside of her version of you. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Erica's face the night Murphy died. That smirk. That dismissive shrug. I thought about the way she'd minimized Jess. About the messages she was now sending to my sister. He's spiraling again. I think he's back on pills. She wasn't just lashing out. She was campaigning. So I gave her a campaign of my own. I uploaded a video. Just me, sitting in Murphy's corner of the apartment. The urn next to me. His collar, thankfully recovered from her car by the police after the restraining order was approved. I didn't name her. Didn't say Erica once, but I told the truth. Told the story of a man who survived overdose, who clawed his way back with a dog and a sponsor and a second chance, who fell for someone who only loved the story, not the man, and who realized too late that some people don't want love, they want control. A curated story where grief is dramatic, vulnerability is weak, and healing is only valid if it fits their aesthetic. The video went viral, hundreds of thousands of views, comments from other addicts, dog owners, people in recovery, people who'd had their grief mocked, their stories rewritten. And then, 2 days later, another message request. This one from Erica's boss. Hey, I saw your video. She used our company name in a public statement about you. Just wanted you to know, we don't condone that. And attached, a screenshot of Erica's now deleted Instagram post. Being publicly attacked by a man I tried to help through addiction has been traumatizing. He's unstable. I've done my best to support his recovery while managing my own brand and career. She used my overdose as a branding opportunity. So yeah, her boss, not happy. Told me she's on leave, might not be coming back, and somewhere in that chaos, a little box showed up at my door. No return address. Inside, a USB drive, labeled The Archive. Just in case, it was from Jess, and on it, every voicemail Erica ever left me, including one where she admitted the overdose story, made me look so good at first. This isn't just breakup drama anymore. This is war. Update 2. Okay, Reddit, strap in, because things have escalated to the point where even I'm sitting here going, am I the villain? No? Wait, maybe? But nah. Judging from the absolute avalanche of support and some wild DMs, y'all are firmly in my corner. So here's what's happened since the last update. First off, yes, the USB was real. Jess had kept every voicemail, every passive-aggressive message, every wine-soaked voice note Erica left when I was in early recovery. I'd forgotten most of them, blocked them out, but hearing them now, hearing her laugh at my step count in rehab, mock my sobriety milestones, tell her friends, at least I'll have a great redemption story for my wedding speech, I felt sick, but also vindicated. Because guess what? Erica filed a formal complaint against me at work, claimed I was creating a hostile environment online, potentially damaging the company's image. She sent them screenshots of my viral video, twisted it into some unhinged narrative where I was exploiting personal trauma for attention. Yeah, the woman who used my overdose to score sympathy points in Instagram captions is now mad I told the truth. But here's the part that made me laugh out loud. My HR manager, bless her, called me in, closed the door, and said, just so you know, we're not pursuing any of this. But off the record, you okay? She knew, because she saw the video. Her daughter shared it on TikTok. So instead of getting fired, I got a quiet high five and 2 days off for mental health reasons. Meanwhile, Erica's meltdown went nuclear. She posted a 12-slide Instagram story trying to reclaim the narrative, claimed I was stalking her, said Jess was a predatory older woman who groomed me in rehab. Yes, she really said that. About the person who literally kept me alive when I was oating on a gas station bathroom floor. But y'all, the internet doesn't forget. Within hours, people dug up her old blog, posts where she bragged about dating a reformed addict because broken men have such depth, comments she left under rehab memes. Even an archived Pinterest board titled Wedding Ideas Tragic Past Edition. You can't make this stuff up. I've had people reach out with their own Erica stories. Apparently, she's left a string of exes across 2 cities, each one with a tale about how she weaponized their pain, twisted their stories, and made herself the tragic heroine. This is bigger than me now. So I made a decision. I'm partnering with Jess's nonprofit. We're starting a little project. Working title, Break the Script. A space for people in recovery whose stories got stolen, who've been used, exploited, silenced. Real people, real grief, no filters. And the best part? I'm donating Erica's ring, the one Jess gave me, the one I gave to the wrong person. We're having it melted down and turned into a pendant for the first girl in our program who hits her 1-year sobriety milestone. Because some symbols don't belong on liars' fingers, they belong to survivors. I picked the jewelry place carefully. Not a chain, not flashy, a tiny shop downtown run by an older couple who barely used a computer but knew gold like it was sacred. When I told them what I wanted, melt this down, make something new, something strong, they didn't ask questions. Just nodded, took the ring from its little box like it was a body being laid to rest. 2 weeks later, they called. The pendant was ready. It was simple, raw, beautiful in a way Erica would have hated. A single flattened drop of gold, smooth and heavy, etched with one word Jess chose, remain, because that's what we did. Me, Jess, Murphy, everyone who'd clawed their way out of something that tried to bury them. We remained. I held that pendant in my palm for a long time. Thought about the girl who'd wear it first. Her name's Tasha, by the way. 17, been clean 9 months. Writing poetry about the first time she heard silence that didn't scare her. That pendant was going to her, not because she was perfect, but because she fought. And Erica? She lost it. Word got around. One of her old sorority friends posted a TikTok showing the pendant, tagged the project, captioned it, "When your ex turns your engagement ring into something actually meaningful." Erica's response? 3 voicemails, 2 emails, and 1 absolute novel in my DMs. The last message read, "You think you're better than me now? You think turning me into a villain makes you some kind of saint? I should have never helped you. You were nothing before me. Just another sob story with a dog. Now you're a martyr? A fucking influencer? What a joke." That last sentence hit me like a gut punch. Not because it hurt, but because it proved what I always suspected. She never loved me. Not me. She loved the idea of me. The project. The performance. The reformed addict boyfriend she could post about, parade around, edit into something glossy and sympathetic for her friends, until I cried over a dog and shattered the fantasy. But here's the part I didn't expect. Tyler, her ex, messaged again. "Dude, I saw the pendant thing. It's insane how full circle this feels. She tried to burn my guitar when I told her I was writing songs about our breakup. Said I was turning pain into performance, but you turned it into power." Then he said, "I've got something you might want." And what he sent next? I swear to God read it. It was her journal. Pages scanned from a notebook she'd accidentally left at his place years ago. He'd kept them, too bitter to throw them out, too hurt to read them again. And inside, things even I wasn't ready for. Plans, scripts, literal bullet points on how to reshape the narrative if her partner ever made her look bad. A checklist of vulnerability traps, and 1 line, circled 3 times. If he cries in public, pivot to maternal. If he cries at me, become the victim. It wasn't just manipulation, it was choreographed. I didn't know whether to scream or laugh or throw up. Instead, I printed that page, folded it neatly, and mailed it to her mother, with a sticky note that said, "You once asked what happened to the nice boy Erica was dating. This is what happened. War's over. But the fire? It's still burning." A week after I sent that letter to Erica's mom, I got a phone call. Unknown number. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something told me, pick up. It was her mother. Soft voice, strained. "Nate," she said, "I just wanted to say, I'm sorry." That stopped me cold. "I didn't know," she continued, "about any of it. What she did to you. What she's done to others. I thought she was hurting. I didn't realize she was hurting people." There was a long pause. I could hear her breathing like she was trying not to cry. "She's not well," she whispered. "I don't know who she is anymore." I didn't know what to say to that. What do you say to someone who watched their daughter turn into a weapon? She thanked me for the letter, said it helped her understand, said maybe it would help Erica too. One day, I didn't say anything to that, because I don't think it will. Some people don't change. Some people just get better at hiding the damage they cause. But me? I changed. This morning I stood in front of a small crowd in a church basement, the cheap plastic chairs, the stale coffee, the smell of cheap perfume and old hope, and I told them the truth about Murphy, about Erica, about the ring, the pendant, the grief, the fire, about how we lose things that matter. And sometimes we lose them again when the people we love mock our grief like it's weakness. And then I said, but every time I look at that pendant, I remember something. I wasn't crying because I was weak. I was crying because I stayed. I stayed when it got ugly. I stayed when it got hard. I remained. And if you're still here, if you're still waking up every day trying not to fall apart, you're already winning. People cried. A few clapped. One guy came up after and asked if I could send him the design for the pendant. Said he wanted one for his daughter. I went home and opened the windows. Let the breeze in. Sat in the silence. Murphy's collar is back on the shelf, right next to Jess's journal and the original photo of me at 10 years clean. Erica? She's out there somewhere, probably spinning a new version of the story. Let her. Because the real version? It's not about her anymore. It's about the kid in that photo, the man on that floor, the dog who waited by the door, the sponsor who stayed, the girl who will wear that pendant and know that someone came before her and turned pain into armor. This is my story now. No edits, no filters, and no one else's hands on the pen.